The 5th Belfast Telegraph Ulster Rally, promoted and organised by the Mid-Antrim Motor Club Limited, begins once again in Carrignavar. Last year, the event attained international status, but it is disappointing that the RAC British Motorsport have excluded Ulster from this year's championship. The organisers are determined to put on a worthy event in the hope of regaining their place in the 1981 series. Last year, Vauxhall got a 1-2 victory, Carrignavar and McRae respectively. Jimmy is back again and already has a string of international firsts in Ireland this season. Driving the first privately entered HSR in an international is Dessie McCartney from Larne. Paul Windsor from Liverpool, seated number 8, only just got his Escort RS 1800 to scrutiny in time.
Give your steering wheel rock there, just place here.
Now we know where this is. It's a track because you got to come right through Belfast to get to
Okay.
off the motorway. So
Right.
a single lane there. No, I see. Yeah, it's not bad from there. No, it's a barn.
At 2 minutes past 4 on Friday the 22nd of August, the cars line up behind Jimmy McRae for the start. Stage 1 is on the ring road of Carrignavar. Dessie McCartney rallied a Lotus Sunbeam recently in Donegal. Now his first outing in a Chevette HSR.
A lot of experience. Nice to see him up in Northern Ireland.
Derek Boyd. He had a rushed clutch replacement just after scrutiny.
Derek Boyd is just on the stage now.
In the third Chevette is Brendan Fagan from Dublin. Just watch him lift a wheel coming out of the S-bend.
Now we have coming up to the time cut.
Robin Lyons in another Sunbeam Lotus. That Porsche is familiar in Irish rallying. Noel Smith yet again. In the blue and white Escort, Cathal Curley, recently out of retirement. The second stage is Carrignavar, 4.5 miles long, situated just outside Dungannon. Dessie McCartney got a puncture and, being unfamiliar with the Vauxhall Jack, enlisted 5 spectators to lift the car while the wheel was changed. But all is well again. Derek Boyd, hoping to repeat his 77 victory in this event. Brendan Fagan is equal fastest at Carrignavar. Robin Lyons' time is second quickest. Noel Smith's Porsche is always heard before it is seen. Cathal Curley means business too, equal first here with Fagan. Confusion at the start of stage 3, Cranlome Hill, meant that McRae was early and fast enough to catch the clerk of the course. He also got there before our camera crew. This is Derek Boyd. Brendan Fagan is the first rally leader, 5 seconds ahead of McRae after 3 stages. And just 3 seconds behind McRae is Robin Lyons. The solicitor from Dublin, Noel Smith. Trying hard and enjoying it, Cathal Curley. A regular visitor to Irish rallies is Paul Windsor. Manxman Ian Corkill is 7th, but an oil pressure problem means he's soon to retire. In car number 11, Jimmy Logan is looking for Group 1 honours. Sweeper car 003 at the next stage. McCartney is settling into the new car and rapidly working his way back up the field. While in car number 3, Boyd is 5th. Fagan loses time on the next stage when the petrol pump develops a fault and McRae takes the lead. Lyons is equal fastest with McRae on this stage. And Smith has the second best time here. Cathal Curley in the Shawson Supply Escort is 4th. Paul Windsor in the David Rees entered Escort. Jimmy Logan is complaining of a mystery rattle inside the car. Austin McHale is doing well to hold 6th, but on the next stage he overshoots a bend and loses 10 seconds. Sean Campbell is 9th in the Opel Ascona 2000i, but he is delayed further along this stage when the throttle jams wide open. Ken McMillan started the rally superbly. He's 5th. Car number 16 is Jimmy Tannehill from Coleraine, also in the Group 1 contest. Paul Murray tries too hard 2 stages further on and spins, losing 15 seconds. Tommy Reid in an Escort RS 1800. That was John Joe Boyce from Ramelton, County Donegal. He wisely did not follow the tracks of Stanley Orr, who had a slight misjudgment before him, and put the wind up some careless spectators. Now to Ballyscally, Damien Campbell cautiously negotiates a deceptive 90 right. Also in a 1600 Sunbeam is Brian Dixon from Downpatrick. Number 19 is John Galeese, happily recovered from a spin on stage 2. An excess of enthusiasm? In a 2-litre cadet, Willie Moffat, co-driven by Noel McQuitty. John Joe Boyce again. He retires early tomorrow morning. At the wheel of the mighty TR7 V8 is Robin Allingham. From Guildford, County Down, Kevin Doyle. Ernest Kenmore was second in his class in the Donegal International in June. Rosemary Smith and Anne O'Connell in the DOT Ascona 400 are hot favourites for the ladies' prize. We see Alan Fraser just once more because he retires soon after the supper halt. Car number 32, driven by Bertie Law. From Armagh, David Wright in a Talbot Avenger. Raymond Knox almost does a 180, but somehow catches the Sunbeam just in time. Mike Dunyan is destined to be another non-finisher in the Ulster 80. The rally ends for him in the morning. Kenneth McKinstry and John McGaffin in car 31 are being hotly pursued by the Talbot Sunbeam of Tom Spence from Dungannon. Driving an ex-Roger Clark Escort, Richie Holefield from Dublin retires early tomorrow. His problem, a blown head gasket. And Jerry McGarrity using every one of the 1234 cc's in the little Honda Civic. There are several ways of keeping an escape road clear, but even pedestrian access to stage 6 was somewhat awkward, thanks to the extravagance of an overzealous marshal with the fluorescent boundary tape. In car number 100, Stanley Orr did not need the escape road this time, thankfully. After Lockins, today's last daylight stage, the route will take Tom Spence 25 miles along the M1 to Carney Hill, just beyond Lurgan. Skona 400 is to get a new gearbox. They are presently 27th overall and leading lady crew. Opel mechanics are also busy servicing Sean Campbell's Ascona 2000i. He is lying 9th overall and only 4 seconds behind Austin McHale's Escort, which is leading Group 1. At the top of the leaderboard, Jimmy McRae has only 24 seconds to spare over both Derek Boyd's Sunbeam and Brendan Fagan's Chevette, which share second place. Brendan, with a replacement gearbox, will be poised to reclaim his early lead. Also challenging will be Dessie McCartney, who has climbed back to 4th after his jackless wheel change on the second stage. A motionless alternator was the cause of concern in this engine bay, but Kevin Doyle's Sunbeam is now leading its class again. The luckier drivers managed to grab a couple of hours sleep before setting off for Saturday's first stage at 5:30 a.m. We took our camera to the end of stage 17, Ora Bridge, in good time for car number 1, the leading Chevette of McRae. But surprisingly, Derek Boyd is first to arrive.
No. 3 miles into the stage.
Derek, who is it that's stuck?
Pardon?
Who is it that's stuck?
Jimmy McRae. He was leading.
I wonder if there's any way we can get to it. Might have a look at the map. Nothing on? Oh, I know it
Then a silver Chevette approaches. It's not McRae, but his teammate, Dessie McCartney.
Yes. The left-hander.
How's it going, Dessie? Is Jimmy going to get back on the road?
What's the important that Boyd will
Dessie is only 1 second behind new rally leader Derek Boyd. Robin Lyons moves up to 3rd. Car number 4, Fagan's Chevette, has gone off just half a mile beyond McRae and is also out of the rally. So suddenly, McCartney's is the only Chevette remaining in the top 10. Curley is now 4th. And there's a close battle for 5th between Sean Campbell and Ken McMillan, whose engine is losing power. McKinstry is 9th. And Smith 7th. Austin McHale lost 1 minute on the last stage with a blocked petrol filter. Jimmy Logan is 8th. James Tannehill. Paul Windsor lost 3 minutes for a puncture earlier on this stage. Paul Murray's Escort is soon to acquire a misfire. Stanley Orr is being pursued by Kevin Doyle. Electrical problems are about to plague Damien Campbell's Sunbeam. Now Tor Head and our first glimpse of David McElroy. Driving car 54 is William Crothers from Scarva. Raymond Armstrong. Tom Spence goes on to finish 6th in his class. Torhead, County Antrim, juts out into the sea at the northeast corner of Ireland, and what is today stage 18 on the Ulster has been a regular feature of the Circuit of Ireland Rally for many years. This morning, McCartney Chevette HSR and Boyd's Sunbeam Lotus completed the 11 miles of Torhead within 2 seconds of each other. Paul Windsor, presently outside the top 10, stamped his mark here by setting the 5th fastest time. We're now watching Brian Dixon. And in the escort from Lisburn is Mark Crowe. The 2-litre cadet once again of Willie Moffat. In this escort, Newry man Cecil Henning. And in the Sunbeam, from Dungannon, George Espy. There's only one colt entered in the rally, and it's a Lancer, driven by John Murray from Randallstown. In the white RS2000 Escort, John Flood and Tosh Kellett from Oldcastle. They only have 2 stages to drive before they also retire. With an unusual mod on the front of his Escort, Brian Grant from Belfast. At Ballycastle service area, James McLaughlin's engine has a troublesome piston, but even 6 mechanics couldn't repair that in the time. Does this exceed the optimum number, somewhere between many hands make light work and too many cooks spoil the broth? Campbell Chisholm from Fort William. McLaughlin struggles on in vain. The engine gives up after this stage. The only Peugeot in the event, a 104 ZS, second in its class. In a Mazda 323, Irvine Fairley indicates left on a right turn. Harvey Scott from Newton Abbey. In another Mazda, John Bailey and Mick Sterney from Derbyshire. In car 77, Ken Crothers. Errol Dunn's Volkswagen Scirocco. And Carolyn Master having a pleasant drive in the Mini. We paid a short visit to the next stage, Campbell's Bridge, just outside Tobermoor. And that's Mark Crowe, followed by Cecil Henning. George Espy's Sunbeam Lotus is easily recognisable by its original colour scheme. Brian Grant keeps pressing on against the odds. John Murray's Colt Lancer again. While Robin Lyons was fastest through here, McCartney's time was 2 seconds quicker than Boyd's, and so the Chevette now leads. At Mahara Service Halt, we spoke to some of the drivers. Firstly, Robin Lyons, who dropped 45 seconds 2 stages back, when his car hit a telegraph pole, which jammed on the handbrake. Robin, how's it going for you?
Well, at the moment we're going fairly well. We're lying third behind Derek.
You far behind Derek?
Yes, we're roughly about a minute to go, 20 seconds.
Do you think there's any chance you're narrowing that gap in the time remaining?
No, there's no chance of it. We're going to drive to get to the finish.
What about the guys behind you? I believe Cahill's just behind you.
Yes, Cahill's 50 odd seconds.
Can you keep him at bay?
I think we should be able to keep him at bay. Keep up the times we're doing.
How's the car been going for you, Robin?
Super, no problem at all. So far, except the slight dents at the back.
When did that happen?
2 stages back, probably.
And you recovered from that experience, have
Yes,
you?
we have. Thanks.
Yeah, well, I hope you make it to the end and we'll see you in Larne.
Thank you very much.
And there you see the result of Robin's contact with the scenery. But what of the popular Dubliner and his Porsche? Noel Smith, where are you lying at the moment?
I reckon we're about 6th.
You enjoying the rally?
Thoroughly splendid rally, well organised, no major problems.
What about last night? I believe you had a problem with electrics.
Well, we bad lights for most of the night. They were fading as you went into a stage. The engine wasn't particularly good with the lack of power in the electrical system, and we're lucky enough to get through it.
Did you lose time with that lights problem?
Yeah, we lost a fair bit of time, but that's the way it goes.
And you've made some of that back this morning, have you?
We pulled up about 6 places this morning.
Are you hopeful of retaining the 6th place until the finish in Larne?
I would hope so. We might pull in one more in front. I don't know. We have a go.
No, we've seen the Porsche on many of the stages today and yesterday. It sounds very noisy. Is that the usual sound?
Yes.
We can always hear you coming from a long way away.
Yes, it's a wee bit noisy, but it's a pleasant noise.
It doesn't deafen you inside?
No, not with the hat on. You can't hear it all.
Okay, no, we hope you continue to enjoy the rally and we'll see you in Larne.
Thanks very much.
Paul Windsor all the way from Liverpool. How are you enjoying the Irish tarmac?
Oh, it's beautiful. Smith in the background there. Have you enjoyed this rally as compared to the other ones you did this year?
Yeah, it's very good, very well run.
It's a very tight rally, one day, hard slog, short breaks.
Yeah, it keeps you going. You keep interest in going all the time.
You don't find it too tiring?
No, it's
Did you
fine.
have much sleep last night?
Oh, a couple of hours.
And how's it going so far with position-wise?
Well, we had a puncture on stage 17 and it took us 3 minutes to change it, so that's dropped us down a bit. We're just trying to make a bit...
Tom Namore, Boyd is only 5 seconds behind. And he's fighting to regain the lead, but a puncture towards the end of this stage drops him a further 15 seconds. The rally leader, McCartney. Can he keep it up for 25 miles? With 4 stages to go. Can Vauxhall do it again? Lyons is 2 minutes behind Boyd. Sitting beside Sean Campbell is Opel PR man John Horton. Ken McMillan has shortened the back of his car. Perhaps it reduces the drag. Curley is 4th and has a lot to do to catch up 45 seconds on Lyons. Ken McKinstry is now 9th, but his tyre stock is almost depleted. Smith is 6th and enjoying every moment of the rally. McHale's oil leak is getting serious. As the smoke confirms, he lost 9 minutes of road time and dropped from 9th to 10th, looking for more oil. Paul Windsor is making up ground after his costly puncture last night. Jimmy Tannehill almost escaped the camera. Kevin Doyle. Stanley Orr has evidently had no more spectator nightmares. Don Shannon finishes first in Class 4. A steady performance by Rosemary Smith and Anne O'Connell to 20th overall. And that earns them the ladies' prize. Ernest Kenmore finishes 18th. David McElroy, 22nd.
26th, William Crothers. Tom Spence, 28th. Dessie McCartney brings the little Honda Civic home, 25th overall and second in Class 4. A brief visit now to Port Lee, the next stage, on the north shore of Lough Neagh. Moffat gets 21st overall in the cadet. His amazing Technicolor coat. This is the final stage, Glencoe, and in that silver Fiesta was the clerk of the course, Peter Scott. A big crowd is gathered in the Saturday afternoon sunshine for the last chance to see this year's Ulster Rally in action. And Dessie McCartney, as if to salute the crowd, waves the front wheel in the air. Boyd battles right to the finish in case McCartney runs out of luck. Robin Lyons gets a hard-earned third place. Sean Campbell wins Group 1 for Opel and 7th overall. Ken McMillan and Dave Bowl get Spirit of the Rally Award. They're 6th overall. Curly 4th, with the able assistance of co-driver Austin Fraser. Noel Smith and Ian Turkington come in 5th. Ken McKinstry finishes 8th, losing 30 seconds for a puncture. But that was 2 stages back, and fortunately it did not cost him a place. Paul Windsor presented with the Best Overseas Crew Award. And managed to grab the wheel in time there to avoid running into the crowd. James Tannehill, 9th. Paul Murray, 11th overall. And Kevin Doyle, 1st in Class 5, 13th overall. Meanwhile, at the finish in Larne, the victory celebrations are already underway.
The rest of the cars will be coming through very slowly. I hope that you just keep the road clear, ladies and gentlemen, that will facilitate the running of the rally. As you can see, rally winner Dessie McCartney is getting his photograph taken. Thumbs up indeed. We have champagne for Dessie here and Brian. If you would like to come on over, the Mayor of Larne is here. They'd like to have a little word with you, and we'll get you something to refresh you after that wonderful, wonderful drive. 28 special stages. Winner Dessie McCartney. Congratulations. great point, ladies and gentlemen. Past winner of the Ulster Rally was leading up to 6 stages ago and has slipped back very slightly. I think the margin between the two cars was 31 seconds. So it's 31 seconds from victory between the first and second cars. Where's Robin Lyons? Can we have Robin over? Robin was third best. Ex-Northern Ireland. Here's Robin. Robin, very well done indeed. Come and get a little glass. The glass is here.
Hello.
Right, while the winners are having a little toast, we could just run through a few other drivers. Cathal Curley, of course, was fourth. And here's cheers all around. Cathal Curley, of course, was fourth in Sauce and Supply Escort. One of the things that I think is remarkable here, that until really very recently, is escorts have been winning virtually everything in the rally, and the first escort is placed fourth overall. That's Cathal Curley. Fifth, Noel Smith. I just wish Noel was here. I would love you to meet him. He's a really nice guy, a solicitor from Dublin, and he supports Northern Ireland rallying all the time. He's a wonderfully brave driver. He drives that big hairy car down very narrow roads extremely quickly. I know that during the night he had virtually no lights at all, but he still came through. Fifth overall, terrific. Sixth on the rally is Ken McMillan, the young white house driver. I don't see any sign of King Miller, but he had a marvellous drive despite all sorts of difficulties. Car number 7 was the Opel, sorry, 7th overall, not car number 7, it was car 13. He won Group 1 overall. That was John Campbell. He was pulled in today by a chap from England called John Horton. Behind me here is probably the man responsible for the success of the rally. That's Mr. Peter Scott. I know that he's very pleased with the way the rally went. I haven't heard about spectator behaviour out today. Peter, would you like to say a few words on how things went?
Brian, I must say I'm more than satisfied with the way things went. Always a big worry when you come to a stage, will it be set up, will it be ready to go, and I got tremendous support from all the stage leaders and all the marshals around the country, and from what I gather from my deputies going through the special stages and the drivers going through the special stages, there weren't any spectator problems of note. This was a great relief to me. It meant we had no accidents, no problems, and I hope the competitors enjoyed competing in the rally as much as I enjoyed organising it.
Peter, we're glad to have you. Thank you very much indeed.